Hey everyone, welcome to a very special bonus episode of A Lifetime of Happiness.
Hello!
And for many of you, if you're watching this online, you might notice that we are on video as well as recording with our audio today.
That's right, you get to see a face with a voice.
Yes, and so the very special reason for this is because we had a wonderful day yesterday, not only because we had the release, yesterday was January 29th, so we had the release of our body positivity episode and just waking up to that was wonderful. But then we also had an event.
That's right. So with Seniors Blue Book, it was the Planning for Aging Symposium, and it was over in Venice at the Venice Community Center.
Yes.
And it was spectacular. It was amazing.
Yes, and I know that you have to say that because you work there. But I have to say, as someone who was there to help out, to volunteer, and to also be there for my day job, with Approved Home Health for the event itself, it was a great event to participate in as well. It brought me much happiness, so I thought that it'd be fun to do a little bonus episode of maybe 5 things that brought us happiness at the event for everyone.
Definitely. Bonus
Yes.
episode. And I just want to say thank you, seriously, from the bottom of all of our hearts, because as you left yesterday, we were talking about how we could not have done it without you. It was like you were on roller skates.
Oh, well, I wasn't, but I did get my steps in for the day before I got home from work for the day.
Above and beyond.
Yes, I did not have to walk or anything that night. I could take it easy. And I think you slept it off afterwards.
I did. I literally went home and I was just telling him, I took a 3-hour nap and then literally went to bed like an hour after that and slept for a solid 8 hours.
Yes.
I hibernated.
Yes, well, I understand. Brr. You're like a bear.
A bit.
But yes, I proposed it because I am a huge advocate for Seniors Blue Book. So just to clear up any confusion, I do not work for Seniors Blue Book. It's just something that's really helped me since I started working in sales and marketing, about 5 or 6 years ago. And so even before you were part of the team, it just helped me as I came out of my shell as a great resource for the community and for people who might be listening to this outside of the Sarasota or Venice community. There are resources like this in your own backyard. I'm sure you just have to look for them. But, this was like a health fair on steroids, I would say, for someone who was not there. But it was just a wonderful event. And it brought me a lot of happiness. So, even though I'm not a part of Seniors Blue Book, I am a fan and it brings me happiness.
Well, you're part of our family.
Yes. Well, thank you. And so with this podcast being something separate but all focused on happiness, I thought that, I would say that the biggest thing that brought me happiness was having something like this in our community available for the residents and the seniors, in our community to have this place where they can get this amount of education. Because the way it was set up, it wasn't just your typical health fair, but you also had a lot of great speakers as well.
We did. It was literally a full day we opened the floodgates around 9 in the morning, and we actually ended up having just below 400 people that showed up from the public.
It felt like 1,000 when I was helping.
He was doing registration, and I'm like, I walk over and there's 100 people in line, and everybody's trying to do different things, but everybody worked so perfectly together through the chaos. So, but it was amazing, and it is amazing with you have the publication, that we always talk about, but these are the reasons why we do our job. This doesn't feel like a job when you get to actually hang out with seniors, and that's my passion. That's all of our passions. We got to hang out with that many seniors yesterday and professionals such as yourself, and just honestly see all this kind of hard work that's gone into organizing and planning this big event. And you get super nervous beforehand. You're like, oh my gosh, please people show up. And it was overwhelmingly just an amazing turnout. Professionally speaking, we had over 70 vendors.
Yes.
So we had a kind of a divider in the room between the symposium where the panel speakers were. So it was kind of quiet, which was good for that side. And then the other side was a ton of networking going on between professionals.
Yeah, it was a great mix of both for me. And so I would say that the networking was one of the things that made me happy, as well as seeing the seniors and the education there as well. So those are my top 3 from the day.
Well, I will definitely mention, so I got to, MC kind of off of Amanda, my colleague. She kind of was the stage presenter with the panelists, but I got to do, the Q&A and also do the gift baskets. And so you quickly find out how important, winning raffles are for seniors.
Yes.
And I literally,
not just seniors, for everyone.
For everybody. But honestly, it was so funny because I was trying to, I love crowd participation. Like, I love when I can interact and make people laugh and make them feel kind of at ease. And so I started doing things where I would ask them to say, like, if I had a gift basket, to say, and ooh, like for a Carrabba's gift card, that's how it started. So, like, as we were going through these gifts, like, I got them to actually do it on their own. Like, they were oohing and ahhing without me even prompting them to. And at one point, we were drawing the numbers for a winner, and we went through like 5 or 6 tickets of people that must have been on the other side checking out the vendors. And so I said, you know what, let's just find somebody whose birthday it is. And so literally we called, it was actually Amanda that said that. And then we found this guy in the audience. His name was Vinny. And I started singing Happy Birthday, which, you know, I love to sing, but I'm a horrible singer.
Any chance to sing you will, though.
I will. So and then the whole room was singing Happy Birthday to this guy, Vinny. So I tried this again in the next round of gifts. We went through like 4 or 5 different tickets and nobody was winning. And I said, okay, let's pick another birthday. And the audience turned on me. They literally like booed me. And I'm like, no, I don't want to be booed. I can't handle it. I'm so hurt. I was able to turn that around.
I was going to say, I must have missed that because, I mean, like I said, I was happy to see so many seniors that were, you know, and non-seniors as well, just adults from the community coming out to get information and resources, which is really inspiring to see because I know oftentimes, you know, being that, you know, with my job being private duty healthcare, people don't want to think about needing help around their home. And I was, especially since I was at the table with my sister company, Tidewell Hospice, and a lot of people don't want to think about hospice until they need to. And so, you know, it's a lot of things people don't want to search out for actively, but coming to a place where you can get all the resources you need at once, it really was awesome that these people were searching that out. And I know with like my coworker Nafi, who did one of the panels, you know, had so many questions afterwards.
She's always so popular, honestly. Like, so there were several different panels and different topics. So hers was talking about kind of like end-of-life services. And so we had her on the panel, and then we have Q&A after. And literally, I think she got like 4 or 5 questions just to her afterwards. Yeah. And so we love when people ask questions because that's like, you know, anybody who's thinking of a question, probably 10 other people or 100 other people might have the same question. Yeah. So we do a lot of Q&A during it. And like you said, it's like all this information under one roof, which is amazing. I would say Nafi was my favorite panel of the day. Who is your favorite panelist of the day? Oh, I can't do that. I can't do that on camera. No. Well, I will say this. So in the last panel, which was our health and wellness panel, it was physicians that were up there, as well as we had a brain coach that was up there, and we had some really good questions. Like, and somebody asked about like, what are we doing about mental health? And every panelist passed the mic to each other, and they all answered kind of as a team, and being proactive and it was just amazing. So probably that like particular panel, really, it was amazing. Yes. All right, excellent. And I would say the booth that I can think made people the happiest was a lot of people's first experience with VR at the event, virtual reality. So this company, they had brought their virtual reality to their booth, and so every time I walked by, like I was just pretty much on rollerblades as well, like getting gift baskets and trying to get panelists together. But oh my God, the booth was always packed with people lined up for this VR. So did you do it? No, I did not. You didn't? I didn't get the chance. Well, I actually have a VR at home. I'm a big old nerd. I just keep on forgetting. So, he does. So one of my friends was like, you know, at the event was like, oh, well, like, did you know you have Google Earth? And I was like, yeah, I haven't really thought to do it. But like, how often do I think like between work and parenting and podcasting, like when am I going to put on a VR and just escape to another world? This world keeps me busy enough. You could, and then there was another booth, which I have to say something funny about. It was another booth that had actually pink floats, and they were little like inner tubes. And so I actually had one of those up at the front, and one of the seniors said to me, they're like, that's like a senior hula hoop. And so I was trying to hula hoop with them, and we were having a ton of fun. They actually, I think it was for a display, but they were actually giving them away to people. Well, I did that at the end because they had one was a giveaway, and like the person who I drew the ticket for, like was like, I don't want it. And I was like, who doesn't want a giant pink rubber tube? Like, why would you not want that? It was from Coastal Care, by the way. And so, like, I raised the tube, and I said, well, who wants it? And, like, so many people raised their hands that then we were finding the other tubes in the corners, so we were like, everyone gets a tube. So I felt like the tube man, just like, so it was like Adventure Island for my teenage years. Yes. So, But yeah, besides that, so the actual professionals that were there, like, I can't ever say this enough. Like, thank you, and you guys were one. Thank you, everybody who joined that event, because honestly, we could not do what we do without you. I mean, it's the support of what you do and bring to the table, and of course, being resources. So it was so much fun to be able to walk around. I was trying to take pictures and just socialize, just have a lot of fun with them.
I was gonna say, I mean, for every like great handful of seniors that I was able to connect with and talk with, which was an amazing experience, getting to know the Venice community better. I also got to connect with a lot of great professionals that I might not have encountered otherwise, and it's nice to know when you come to these events that you're going to be working with like-minded professionals who want to take time out of their day to come to these events to really help educate the public. So it's, you know, getting yourself around like-minded individuals that really want to do the best for the community.
Exactly.
And so I would say, what's the fifth thing that's making you happy about it all?
Okay, so afterwards, it ended at 3 o'clock, and it time flew by. But at 3 o'clock, there was several seniors and some of their caregivers that actually were kind of lined up, and they were waiting to talk to me. So I got to sit down with them, and they just were. It almost made me cry. Maybe because my feet hurt a little bit too, but they were just saying how great it was that we brought this to Venice, and they were so appreciative of everything. And it wasn't about actually the gift baskets or the free food or any of that. It was truly getting to hear the information. So it just really touched my heart, just hearing kind of a testimonial from this line of people that were waiting I felt like a celebrity, honestly.
Wow.
But it was all about just their comments, and how it just made me really happy to hear how much they appreciated the whole event.
Well, it was great that you brought it to Venice. And speaking of bringing it to Venice, you are going to be bringing it to Sarasota soon as well, won't you?
That's right. So we get to sleep for a couple weeks. Oh wait, not sleep. We get to plan and try to sleep in between. But we are having on February 11th, actually, at the Circus Arts Conservatory. It's where they renovate. They spent over $4 million renovating the Circus Arts Conservatory.
And we're getting a circus show.
And that's right. So dress in, we were talking about, he's going to wear a fun bow tie. I'm probably going to wear my suspenders that day. It's going to be an amazing event. Again, this one's called the Senior Living Symposium. It's our third annual. So the panel discussions will be a little bit different from the Planning for Aging, but it's going to have a lot of the same vendors are going to be there.
I will be there.
Some new ones from that particular area. So I would just say join us. I think Sandra might kill me, but I think we have a couple spaces left for vendors. I know we were over 70 something vendors.
Wow.
So
yes.
and then also we have room for RSVPs. And should I do a little plug here for our phone number?
Go for it.
If people are listening. So
if you're local and you're interested in coming to the symposium.
Absolutely. So it's going to be again in Sarasota on February 11th, and it's from 9 a.m. to 3. The phone number that you could RSVP is 941-220-5098. And you can call that number, and just the reason we do this is for food, honestly. We need to know, we want to feed everybody. We don't want anybody hangry. I
was going to say, people were showing up and saying, at 9 o'clock in the morning, they're like, I forgot to RSVP, but I don't mind that I won't get lunch. It's okay, I understand. By lunch, they cared. So, trust me, if you feel like you're going to show up to the event and not mind missing lunch, after, all of that learning and all of that education, your brain's going to be hungry, and you're going to want that meal. So you definitely want to RSVP.
Yeah, so thanks. I appreciate you allowing us to do a bonus episode on this.
No problem.
That makes me happy.
I was going to say, and for listeners of the podcast, thank you again for tuning in. And if you're not in the Sarasota area, I just encourage you to check out your local health fairs. Google whatever town you're in, or whatever city or county, or, search for your local health fair, whether you're aging or not. I mean, you're aging.
We all are, right?
We're all aging. So you're going to need this information sooner rather than later. So why not get it sooner?
Exactly.
And if you are hearing about this podcast for the first time because you either went to the symposium or coming to the next one, definitely check out the podcast as well, because we regularly talk about happiness and aging all the time. You can find us wherever you find podcasts, like Apple Podcasts,
Spotify,
Stitcher, iHeartRadio.
You can always find us on Facebook, Twitter,
and
all those fun things.
Guess what? As of this morning, you are now able to ask Alexa about us.
No way.
And thanks to Tune FM and a little plug-in, you can now have her play us as well. So
are you serious?
Yeah.
I feel like that's when you make it big, is when Alexa knows you.
She knows me now. So yes, so you can find our podcast anywhere you can listen to podcasts. So definitely check us out, subscribe, and tune in for more happiness coming along to you real soon.
And if for some reason you can't remember from the beginning, it's A Lifetime of Happiness.
Yes, which is, you can even find our website is www.happylifepod.com. like short for podcast.com, and check us out. Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.